everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. The Veritas Project is... Let's try that again. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast this morning. And my brain is not braining already, but you've joined us on the Project Investigation Collaboration Podcast, which is a collaboration between the founder of the Veritas Project, Robert Curtis.
Hello.
And investigator Todd, myself, Todd Boyer. And welcome back to the podcast. We have another great podcast waiting for you. You guys are going to love this one. We are actually going to teach you guys how to put together a ghost hunting kit for under $100. We're going to show you what we have in our bags and all the cool toys that Bob has, because Bob has a lot cooler toys than I do, because there's a few apps that I really use.
Right.
So
I say if you're going for a gear bag that's under $100, don't
look at Bob.
Don't copy mine.
Don't look at Bob. Look at mine. I can get you guys. All geared up for under 100. So
I have a $3,000 camera.
So yeah.
Don't copy that one.
All right. So let's start with my bag. Let's start with some simple stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to look up a multimeter and look at the price on the multimeter, we'll go through my bag. And
which model is it?
It is this one right here.
EMF.
Yeah, it's the EMF tester. All right, so this is an EMF field tester, okay? This picks up EMF fields, and it's believed that entities disrupt EMF fields and produce EMF, okay? So what this does, it reads EMF fields in the air, okay? And this one actually also reads air temperature at the same time. It is a multimeter, very simple thing.
Oh, they got K2s on sale for $14.
Yep. Also, Bob, you want to... Okay, so the K2 meter, which is a simpler version of this, it just reads EMF. Okay. You can get those on sale on Amazon right now. The thing that they use in every ghost hunter channel, video, whatever, that simply has the lights that light up, are on sale right now for $14.
Yep.
So that's a good start. Right there, $13.99. We're going to show it to the live, and then we'll show it up here. You know, $13.99 for your standard K2. Mine's a little fancier, but it was under $20, I believe.
Can't find that
and it's a multimeter, so it is a little older. It's a couple years old.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's for reading EMF fields. And what you'll do with this is you'll walk through the house, you get a baseline reading, and you will figure out where the hot spots are in the house. And sometimes you'll find out the house actually isn't haunted, that it's actually just got too much EMF in it.
Yeah.
And I've had that happen on an investigation.
Yeah.
Which causes nightmares and uneasy feelings, and basically the things you would feel if you were haunted. So I've actually debunked a whole house with this, and this alone. So if you find a spot in the middle of a room, and it's just literally an isolated spot, like it won't go off here, it won't go off here, it'll just be right here, and then sometimes you can follow that spot through a house or through a room. Then you definitely need to take pictures of whatever it is, that spot you have.
Right.
So this is your base. You need to get one of these, either this one or the one Bob just showed you. That is your basic EMF detector. That is Ghost 101 right there. Okay.
Then I take a graph paper board, you know, a tablet that has graph paper on it, and I measure out the house using the infrared tape measure, and I'll make a graph of the house, and then I'll walk around with the meter and then mark on there like what the baseline
for
is.
each section.
So that way during the investigation, if you find spikes in a different place, then you know that it's something supernatural. It's not the power box or a light bulb in the attic or something that's giving off EMF, but it's not paranormal.
Okay, so the next thing, batteries. Yeah. Lots and lots and lots of batteries. Now there's a debate whether you go ahead and buy the good batteries or you buy the Dollar Tree batteries.
Right.
The Dollar Tree batteries, you get a ton of them, but they don't last nearly as long. No. But the Duracells and that kind of stuff, you're going to get a longer lasting battery. So I have a little of both in here. But batteries.
Yeah, the Amazon, what do they call that? Selects or
Yeah.
Amazon, whatever. Amazon's brand of batteries are
Really good. Yeah.
and they're pretty cheap. So the Dollar Tree ones or the dollar store ones are unbelievably cheap, but
Yes.
they don't last at all.
Then we have flashlights.
Yeah.
Lots of flashlights. Take 2 or 3 flashlights because you can not only use them as a flashlight, but you can unscrew the tip of them and use them as like a trigger device. Like if you just barely turn it off, and if something bumps it, it'll turn the flashlight on and give you
Right.
a signal.
The little spring in there.
Yep. Will make contact and
it'll light up.
and light it up, right?
And you can do the yes or no kind of
Yep.
communications with the spirit by having them tap the flashlight just the tiniest little bit to make it turn on.
You can go a little fancier and get this flashlight that I have right here. And the fanciness out of my flashlight, I mean, you have different modes, right? And here's the best mode. Boom, black light. I know you can't see it on Bob's shirt. You see it kind of glowing a little bit. Look at that.
Ha!
So black
Nice.
light flashlight built into it. And I know it's going to be hard to see, but built into it, you can see it kind of purple,
Right.
right? So flashlight, black light flashlight. You can find those on Amazon for under $20.
I found in
Yeah.
my experience of taking spirit photos that the black light is better than infrared because a lot of times an entity will have dust
Yes.
that
Yeah.
they collect dust as they move around, part of the static electricity thing, and the infrared sees right through that.
Yep.
But a black light doesn't. It'll reflect it. So you'll get like a cool cloud or something
Right.
at least.
Right. Yeah, and you can see mists.
Yeah.
It picks up mist real easy
Right.
and smoke.
Whereas infrared
misty
blows
figures.
right through it,
Yep.
and it does not.
So once again, something under $20
Yeah.
there. And then I have these. These are simply motion sensitive night lights, right?
They're supposed
So
to be put on your stairs.
Yeah, you're supposed to. They have like stickies and you mount, right? And you can get 4 of these for like $12,
Yeah.
right?
Not much.
And I just put the batteries in it and I just set it on the floor somewhere. And if any kind of shadow passes over it, it will turn on.
Yeah.
So if anything goes by this, it'll turn on. And once again, under $20. So everything I've showed you so far, obviously besides battery cost, we're not even at $60 yet,
Right.
right? And then
That's what we talked about before, the PIR, the passive infrared detection.
no, the one it just went off.
That's a good thing because it
Put it away.
it detects
Take the batteries
movement
out.
and density.
Right.
So if a spirit goes over it, it'll go off. If it sees movement, it'll go off.
Okay, now a few other things that we've talked about before is I have no idea, Crow.
What-
Maybe you're haunted. She wants to know, so why is my microwave randomly throwing 1 beep only when I'm near it?
Huh.
That is kind of wonky.
Yeah. Let's see if it's a vibration thing, maybe.
Maybe. That's a possibility. Might have a loose connection. Yeah, you're haunted. You're one of the haunted people we talked about last week.
Right.
All right, now let's get into the silly, right? But effective. Dollar Tree, a toy car, right? You just simply set this on the floor, mark, either place it in a spot where can see where it's at, right? And then, just keep an eye on it, keep a camera on it, whatever, see if it moves.
I'll take a Post-it note and make little tick marks on the Post-it note and then put the Matchbox car on the Post-it note. And then you'll see in precision if it moves or not.
Right.
That's always a little trick.
And a little pony. Little, I'll show it to you guys, just a little pony. See how it's got 3 feet up there? The one's up, or 3 feet down, 1 up. I'll show you guys 3 feet down, 1 up. When you set this down, if you tap it in the nose at all, it falls right over. So it's a simple trigger object that if something goes to touch it or whatever, it'll fall right over.
Yeah.
So that's something, you keep an eye on for that.
Yeah, and that's from a gumball machine.
Yeah, the Dollar Tree, I think, is where I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have dice. So I'll take like 3 or 4 dice and I'll lay them on the floor, all the same direction, all the same number. Like I'll line all the 6s up and spread them apart and And maybe something will flip it over at some point, but that'd take a lot of energy to do that. It's simple dice.
But the spirit can affect dice in the air too. So that's another trigger object you can use. So you can tell it, hey, like rune stones, tell me how many spirits are here, and then you throw a dice and see, 3 times if it comes up with the same number.
Where's the other one? There it is. All right, and I don't know, I have a pendulum, but I just bought it, and I can't remember where I put it.
Yeah, I have one too.
Good ADHD brain, right? All right, so this one, you guys are looking at, what the hell is that? These are my fancy fancies. These are my fancy dowsing rods, right?
Yeah.
So once again, $7, $8, I think, under $10 at off Amazon. And how these work is you want to try to hold them as level as possible, and then you're going to ask questions, and usually they're yes or no questions, right? But you have to set a baseline and say, yes, yes questions, or you cross them, no questions, or you spread them apart. So you'd be like, okay, is anybody here? And then you wait, and but basically yes or no questions. And the look on people's faces that have never used these before, I don't use them a lot. I like to give them to people,
right?
To use. And when they start working for those people, it absolutely blows their mind. It blows their mind. And you will find people in groups, that they'll try to manipulate them.
To do it, yeah.
And
it's worse.
It makes it worse, yeah.
Yeah. If you try to do it, they'll flop all over the place.
Right. So there's that. Another ghost hunting device.
You don't even need to buy the ones like that. You can get an old copper wire.
Yep.
And just use the copper wire.
These are just nice because they're nice and small and portable.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I like those. Now here's my favorite one of my favorite play toys. Now this is a green laser. This laser will reach a mile.
Oh yeah, I have the same one.
So, and it literally has a key to turn it on, right? So we'll turn it on here. And it has this filter on it. Normally it just shoots one beam, but with this filter, it does this here. Can you guys see that grid back there? I don't know how well you can see it. Let me shine it on my shirt here. You guys see the green grid on my shirt? Right? Okay, so what you would do, now normally you have to press the button to keep it on, but I have one of these Velcro zip ties that I wrap it around and hold the button on. And then you shine it into a room, and you will see if anything passes in front of the lasers. You want to lay this down somewhere so it's not going to move on you. So that's one of my favorite toys.
Yeah.
Let me turn that off.
You can't see the beams of the laser, so
right.
You have the laser on one side, and then you project it on the wall on the other side, and then your camera shoots through the middle, and that way if something passes through there, the lasers will light it up.
Yep.
So you'll be able to see the visual representation.
That's another of my toys. Okay, and then my most important toy.
Right.
My phone.
The most important thing in investigation is the phone.
The most important thing. Now, I do have a digital recorder, but I couldn't find it this morning because I played with it last week.
I didn't bring my little box out that has all my EMFs and stuff in it. I thought we'll cover the cameras and stuff. But here's my digital recorder if you want to see what I use.
Right.
This little Sony.
That's a really nice one, but you can find a really cheap one for like $10.
The one I used for years was another Sony digital recorder, and it was like $20.
Yeah, real simple stuff. So for my bag, we're looking right around $100 besides the phone. Yeah. Now the phone, obviously, there is voice memos, so you can actually use your phone as a digital recorder
and take notes too.
And to take notes on. And actually, I didn't put it in the bag this morning, but I usually take a tablet and a pen to take notes. I mean, it's that simple. Also, you want to shush Angela. She said my phone is not my favorite toy. So anyway, you can take pictures, obviously. You know,
Yeah.
tons and tons of pictures. Take as many as you want. But also there's apps. Now the apps that I like to use, and I have them in a separate paranormal.
Yeah, I do too.
What do you call it? Folder. Folder. Thank you. My brain's not braining. My favorite app for the iPhone. It's called iOvolus. Okay, and what that does, it's a random word generator, and you can set it up to cycle high or low or slow. And what I do is I set it to where as soon as it starts getting busy, I back it down, right? Mm-hmm. And it takes like a little bit of intuition to use. It's kind of like tarot almost.
Yeah.
You have to read into it what it's saying. And I've gotten very good at that.
Oh, yeah.
I've gotten really, really good at that.
Like I talk about the spirit box all the time. Once you get that, what I call the spirit box ear,
yeah,
you can hear a spirit box in a TV show and immediately debunk what they say it says.
Right.
Because you after hours and hours of listening to the spirit box, you become like a bloodhound for it.
Right. Which then also the app, the SBX12 Spirit Box app.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one too.
So what this does is it goes through. I'll turn it on here, and I'll turn it up. What that's doing? Oh. Let me turn it back down. I need to mute myself on there. But what it does is it goes through, as you can see, I'll show you guys. See, it's randomly going through. I don't know if you can see that. It's randomly going through all the radio stations in the area, right? I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see. It's going through all the radio stations in the area very, very quickly. And what you're going to do is you're trying to catch a word or a phrase.
Right.
Through the radio, because this actually uses the antenna that's inside your phone,
right,
to pick up those radio stations. And if it covers multiple stations, right, then you're gonna
that's something paranormal,
that's something paranormal because it's so fast crossing over.
Right.
Hey Rose, it's so fast crossing over those multiple frequencies.
Yeah.
That if you do catch a word or a phrase, then that's something paranormal.
Yeah, because a radio station will just be a blip.
Yep.
It'll just be a dip, dip, but like that. But if you hear it say like a whole sentence, then that's over like 10 radio stations. There's no way that the FCC would allow that interference. So it can't be a broadcast. So
I don't use that. My favorite is the Ovilus because I'm good at it. And I didn't bring my headphones this morning. Now I do have a little toy that is not cheap. They're called Aftershock headphones, and they're a bone conductive headphone that goes over your ear. Okay, they sit right in front of your ear, right here, so they don't actually go in your ear. So I listen to the iOvolus as I'm investigating, and I can hear everything through the headphones, but then I can hear everything that's going on because they don't go in your ear.
Right.
Now that's my over-the-top purchase for ghost hunting.
I have the same thing, same design, but I bought mine off of Temu, and they were like $4.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, there you go. So you can still get
really
cheap.
Good, yeah.
So,
and it's the same thing. They're bone conduction headphones, just like you said.
Yeah, so there you go. You can get them off of Temu for $4. And I'm willing to bet you can find a lot of this on Temu.
Yeah,
probably even cheaper than what we're finding on Amazon.
If you want to wait a month to get it, you can.
And actually, they're good. They give you a discount if it's after 2 weeks now.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot of them discounts.
Have you?
Yeah.
But, okay, so that is my bag.
Yeah.
Really, Crow? Sorry. She says that she used that word one more time. All right, so that is my bag. Very simple bag because I love the iOvolus app so much. That is my primary investigation tool because I'm so attuned with it that I'm so good with it that that's my primary tool.
Right.
I mean, it really is. So now let's get into Bob's ricey toys.
I didn't want to show you like the
stuff I have.
The same stuff. So it's like, look, here's my version of it.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to kind of do more of a history lesson on how you can waste a lot of money. So I start with my very first paranormal camera. or ghost hunting camera. This is the Sony Mavica digital camera. And a lot of people ask me, like, well, what does this record on? Does it use SD cards? Does it use,
I see what it records on.
What it records on? It records on floppy disks. That's how old this camera is. It actually records on floppy disks. And this was groundbreaking for its day. When its day was 1998, I think, 97. So this is the very first thing that I invested a ton of money on, because I was like, I wanted to have something you could take a whole bunch of photos instead of the 35 millimeters, which I have in here too. I'll show you.
Crow says OG Bob.
Right.
But hold on. I do have to say, everybody loves your wardrobe. You always wear the best shirts. I've had comments on your wardrobe. You always wear the best ones.
I'm not Reagan.
You always have the best shirts, Bob.
But with the 35 millimeter film cameras, I'll show you my first one of those too. But this is what we used to use back in the day, was a regular, film camera, and you get like what 25 shots with this.
Yeah.
But with the Mavica, you could expand that. You could get a whole 30 shots with this, right? And for the low price tag of $800, you could get a whole 5 more photos, and then you didn't have to develop it, But it was nice to have a digital photo that you could just put on. Back in the day, there was this site called the Ghost Web, and that's where every aspiring ghost hunter went to in the 90s. Dave Oster was the manager of that, and he was a good friend of mine on the internet. We talked about ghosts until the wee hours of the morning. He was a great guy. Him and Sharon ran that site, and this was the first digital camera that I ever bought, and it was a lot. There was a lot of monies. Until then, I was using the 35 millimeter film camera, and I always put a hood on it because
cut down the glare, side glare.
Because we're using a lot of infrared lights and black lights and stuff. So you want to. Photos were expensive.
Yes, they were.
So you don't want to have a bunch of side glare on your lens and then make like lens flare that looks all crazy.
Yeah, and you put it on everything.
I do put them on everything. And then I upgraded that one to...
I love how you have the Crown Royal bags. Yeah, like everybody had back in the day.
We protect our stuff with the... Where's the other? There it is.
Another Crown Royal bag. You grabbed the wrong Crown Royal bag.
So when I upgraded from that film camera, from this old Japanese Pentax, I upgraded to a Nikon, which was a motorized film camera, and this was that guy. And this still takes fantastic photos. This one, because the clarity of the lenses in these are amazing.
Well, not only that, but then the camera you guys are watching us on right here on the YouTube. So his newest one is up here.
You can't see it because we're recording.
Yeah, because we're recording with it. But tell them what it is.
It's a Sony NEX7 Alpha. It's not the newest version of Sony's Alpha cameras, but it's a really nice mirrorless camera. It has replaceable lenses, so you can do like macros. You can take pictures of stuff close, and it has telephoto lenses. You can do all that stuff. And it was like...
Crow says Bob is a whole vibe.
I think when I bought that, it was like 2 years old.
Right.
It's like 4 or 5 years old now, and it was like $200.
Yeah, it takes fantastic video. I mean, we love the video it takes. We're just having a problem. We're actually having to record and then transfer over.
Right, we can't stream it.
For some reason, we can't stream it, and we do have the stuff to hook it up to stream it.
It just doesn't want to do it.
It just doesn't want to do it for some reason. But Bob likes Linux, so we think it might be an issue with the Linux crossover.
I'm not a big fan of Bill Gates. I refuse to give him any of my money. So in the evolution, we switched to digital cameras, and then this was my first digital camera. It's a Nikon Coolpix 5000 with the extra battery bank on it, and this camera is actually modified to shoot in infrared.
I'm gonna reach across and grab this while we're...
So it takes infrared photos, so you can put a infrared light or a black light on it, and then it'll take pictures in infrared.
And that's something you want to look for if you're looking for like a cheap video camera. Look at one that is compatible and will shoot in infrared.
Right.
They're out there. They're not that expensive. I mean, if you want to step up to that point, you're looking at probably $60, honestly, for a cheap one. And you obviously can go a lot higher.
Well,
but
Amazon,
you really only need the $60 one, honestly.
Yeah, they have blogging cameras on Amazon now that you can get for like $80
with infrared. Yeah,
they're 4K and IR compatible. It's ridiculous.
Yep. You know, the stuff that we paid a lot of money for.
Then
Crow, I approve every message Bob spews.
when the Ghost Hunters TV show came out, they were using this camera in the first season. So of course I had to go to Best Buy and get one because if they're using it, then it has to be good. It has to be good kit. So this is the Sharp. I don't even know what this one is. VLZ1, and this one has also been modified to shoot in infrared, and it takes tapes.
It takes the micro.
Yeah, it records on the.
Well, you have the box for it.
Yeah.
Just show them the box.
The mini.
There's one.
Mini DV tapes.
There's one in there.
Oh, there it is.
So it literally looks like a regular tape.
Right.
Except
and
super,
it's cool.
super tiny. Look at that. How cute is that little guy? Look at that thing. Look at that, guys. How cute is that little thing? I mean, that thing is ridiculous. I mean, I got big hands, but I mean, that's not even as big as my finger.
The cool thing about this old camera is that it actually pivots on the part you hold it, so you can have your hand comfortable while you're recording. So you can turn the screen, you can turn the whole camera, and you can get as comfortable as you want while you're holding it. It doesn't weigh a whole lot either.
Nice.
But that's why I bought this one, because that's the one they used on the Ghost Hunters.
So
TV.
are we almost where are we at? How many more we got?
I think that's it for the.
Oh well, you got that one.
Yeah, and then I bought this one by accident on Mercari a few weeks ago. I had forgot that I had clicked the wrong button and made an offer on it, and the guy accepted my offer of like $30 for this Sony camera. And this thing is amazing.
Nice. That's really nice.
It's like 2 generations older than the one we're recording on here, so it does shoot video, but it's like
1080p or 720.
But it has a hood on it, and he kitted this thing out.
Yeah, it's a fantastic
with all kinds
camera.
of different lenses and everything for $30 in a bag and everything. So you can't. Mercari is a good source for finding cheap stuff. I love lens hoods. Are that's my jam. Every camera I use has a lens hood on it because you don't want cross contamination into your thing.
So something that Bob has that's fantastic that he actually just picked up. And as you guys see, I'm playing with it here. It's a camera holder for your phone. You put it in here, and then it has shoes that you could put.
Cold shoes.
Yep.
Has three of them
to put lights on, and then you can go around and hold and stabilize, and shoot video. And this was what, $5 or something?
$2.
$2 at Five Below.
Yeah, $2.50.
So something else that's nice and cheap and. Now we're to Bob's big boy toy. I'm going to hold it. Bob can explain it.
This is the Canon XL1. It is. If you ever seen the movie 28 Days Later, they filmed that movie with this model of camera.
Beast. Look at this, guys.
And its image is absolutely beautiful. Even though this is an old camera, and when you upload the video from this, it's digital. When you upload the video, it renders it to 1080 at 60 frames per second, which is like a modern camera. That's how awesome the image is in this thing.
So when we move to our new studio, we'll be using this.
Yeah.
Because, excuse me. So it takes the micro cards, or
the tapes.
the micro tapes. But Bob has...
Yeah, I modified it.
A converter.
I'll show you.
Go ahead.
I modified it so that you can take that
this
digital capture device and mount it on here instead of your eyepiece, and then you can capture the video straight out of the device onto a SD card. So that way you don't have to use the old tape and then worry about it not recording right. So
we'll be switching to this camera after we get the new studio set up.
Yeah.
Bob's moving to a new house. We're actually going to have like a big, probably half of a really large room for our recording studio, and we'll have sound dampening and then the whole 9 yards, and we'll switch to that camera probably.
Yeah.
So our nice
this guy, when it was brand new, Best Buy had it on sale for $2,800, and a local school shut down their AV department, and I bought it off of eBay from a local auction for $260, I think.
$2,000 camera for $260.
Yeah, and it came with all the lens, the battery, a bunch of stuff. I bought this from a TV station at an auction. This is the little shoulder
Throw it
pad.
up there, yeah.
So you don't have to set the camera on your shoulder. It actually holds it up so you can still use the viewfinder, and it all
Crazy.
retracts into it. Yeah, and it has the audio controls where you can adjust the gain on a shotgun mic, so you can actually put any shotgun mic you want to that has the two 3.5 jacks. You can adjust all your shutter speed is all right here. So while you're recording, you can adjust your white balance and your shutter speed. This thing is amazing.
Yep. That's why we're going to use it in the studio.
Yeah. And the image is so beautiful. Amazing. It's a 3-sensor digital camera too. So each color has its own sensor in there. Mm-hmm. So it does all 3 colors with 3 different sensors.
So each color is picked up separately and printed onto the image was what he's saying.
And it adjusts it. You can adjust it in real time. So if you're outside filming and then you go inside, you can just adjust the white balance right here and just change all of your iris settings right there on the camera.
Fancy schmancy.
Yeah. So I mean, what I wanted to bring this out to prove a point is that you can buy super high end stuff for cheap if you go with an older version of it. So you don't have to spend a bunch of money on the latest, greatest, bleeding edge device, especially in the paranormal, because you don't want that razor sharp image.
Exactly.
You want a little bit of a dithering to it. You want that kind of fuzziness, in your image, because then it's easier to see paranormal stuff. You know? You watch a lot of modern ghost hunting channels, and they all have like 8K cameras with great big, audio receivers and stuff on it, and their footage is terrible.
They filter. What happens is all those fancy new filters actually filter out the stuff that you want to see.
That we want, right?
Yeah, the fuzzy stuff and the smoky and the fuzzy. That's what you want to see. That's for the paranormal.
Want. And the modern cameras are designed in their software that they don't record that.
I find that if you're taking pictures with your phone, it's better to take them further back and then zoom in using, when you open the photo, zoom in. And that's where you're going to find your stuff, is the further back where the camera's not quite focusing. Right. You're actually going to see more stuff at that further zoom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's where you're going to find the better stuff. So we have showed you from the super cheap to the obscenely expensive. Oh, you know what you didn't bust out this week? Your old school tape recorder.
Oh yeah, the old audio. This is how we used to do it back in the day. This is a tape recorder that it actually records on old school cassettes. And the cool thing about this recorder is it was made for meetings, right? You would push, or like depositions, like the police department and that kind of stuff. So you hook a external microphone into it that has the little remote thing, and then you just push record, and it'll just stop on its own. Right. And then whenever it hears a sound, it starts recording. Right. The built-in microphone, because the built-in microphone is right next to the cassette.
Oh, the cassette
it picks up a kind of a swish, swish, swish sound every once in a while, which if you know how to filter that out, then it's not a big deal. But I always hook it to an external microphone far away from it, and then that way it records the sound instead of the noise. But this is a super awesome General Electric. I bought this at a thrift store for $5. And it is, that's metal.
It's hefty.
And I have this tape that goes around it is actually glow in the dark tape. So you don't accidentally kick it over when it's sitting on the floor.
But you got to untape it to change the batteries.
You do have to untape it.
Unless you have external, but it does have an external.
Right.
So you can just plug it in. But
thrift stores are your best friend.
Oh, the tape. Whoa, here, we can do this.
Oh, yeah. Use your black light.
Yep,
you can see it glow.
A little bit. Not so much.
Oh, you can see it on the camera.
Yeah, you can see it on the camera up there. So.
But But yeah, it's stuff like this. You would think that, you know what my favorite one is? I don't even know where it is to show you, but it's a kid's karaoke tape player.
Oh yeah.
And it has a detachable microphone made into it. It's all one unit, and that thing is fantastic for catching EVPs.
It's not. Is it cow? No, it's ghost. It's little ghosties.
Ghosts and bats.
And bats and things. Here, we'll flip it back over this way. Yeah, it's not cow print, it's ghosties.
That was one of the things I bought.
Little ghosty and bat print there.
In the after Halloween sale. You know how everybody clears all Halloween out? They had a whole spool of glow-in-the-dark duct tape. And it was like $1 or something like that. I mean,
it doesn't matter what it does.
Right,
It's duct tape.
I don't care what's printed on it. It's duct tape. I mean, for $1, you got to buy it. I don't care if it's got Christmas stuff on it. It's
for real.
Duct tape, you know. Like, you always need it.
Right. So, you wanna look up a few things on Amazon to get prices, or?
Yeah, we can.
So we're gonna go ahead and show you a few prices. So he showed you the EMF detector, right?
Yeah.
Something that I don't have that I need to order is cat balls.
Oh yeah,
The little cat balls. Basically, how those
are.
work is there's a connector here, right? It's okay, and then there's a spring that sits in the middle. I know this is kind of a weird thing to show you, but the spring sits in the middle, and as soon as that ball is hit, it touches and makes that connection. So as soon as that thing moves a little bit and makes that connection, they start flashing.
Right.
So those cat balls, you can get like 3 for.
There's 4 for $11.
Yeah, 4 for $11. There you go, right there.
That's what
Throw those in your bag. 4 for $11 cat balls. They work fantastic. You know.
It actually says, ghost hunting cat motion light up balls. So they know that we buy more of them than cat people
yeah.
do.
So and something you don't want to do when you are looking for equipment, do not use the word ghost or paranormal in your search, because don't use ghost or paranormal. They definitely, that'll increase the cost of everything. So, what else are we gonna look up here real quick?
I'm gonna see how much those motion sensor lights are.
Okay, there's some right there. You need do motion sensor nightlight.
Well, I thought that one.
Yeah, just brought up motion sensors. So we're gonna look at the motion sensor nightlights, and then I think we're gonna go ahead and there's $17 for 4 of them.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So there's another thing, $17 for 4 of them. So
I'm trying to get where there's no light reflecting.
Alrighty, so we are going to go ahead and shut this thing down, and we thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys can put a bag together for under $100, and go out on your own investigations. If you
need storage bags, ask your local bar.
Yep.
They can come up with
Crown
some really
Royal
nice
bags.
free storage bags.
We appreciate you guys being here. If you're following us on YouTube, we're on Spotify.
Yeah.
Veritas Project.
Right.
Or R.S. Curtis.
Yeah.
On everything, and I'm Investigator
Instagram.
Todd on everything. And we thank you guys for joining us this week. We hope you enjoyed it, and remember,
stay curious
and find the truth, and we will catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.
All right.